Donald Trump has pledged to bring more water to drought-stricken California from Canada.
Millions of gallons of water pouring down from the north with the snow caps in Canada and all pouring down. And they have essentially a very large faucet.
He did sort of suggest water from British Columbia could just be diverted through Oregon and into the Golden State.
It's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
But never say never. Never say never.
That will never, ever happen.
There is a new tension emerging, and it has nothing to do with tariffs, steel, or oil. It has to do with something far more fundamental: water. Yes, you heard correctly. A developing confrontation between Washington and Ottawa now revolves around the one resource that every country needs to exist. Donald Trump just made a daring claim. According to him, the United States must have access to Canada's enormous freshwater resources. States like California, Arizona, and Nevada may soon run out of water, he said, and he thinks that Canada's north has the answer. However, Canada's response to Trump's demand for negotiations on water exports was succinct and direct. Canada's economic powerhouse, Mark Carney, adamantly stated that the country's water is not for sale. The door was slammed shut after that. Let's examine why this is so important. Canada has more freshwater resources than any other nation, with the exception of Russia, at close to 20% of the global total. Its rivers, lakes, and glaciers are vital natural resources. On the other side of the border, the United States is experiencing a crisis. The Colorado River is becoming smaller. Once full, Lake Meek is reaching all-time lows. Cities are in dire need of additional clean water supplies, while farmers are having difficulty. Trump's remarks rocked both nations because of this. He referred to it as a fair partnership issue. However, it seemed more like a demand to Canada. This is when Mark Carney came into play. Carney, who is renowned for his composed leadership at the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, is a strategist as well as an economist. According to him, a country runs the risk of losing control of its future once it begins bartering away its water. Make sure to turn on the bell and subscribe to the channel immediately. Carney's rejection was environmental in nature as well as political. He maintained that sending billions of liters of water south might deplete natural lakes, harm ecosystems, and create a risky precedent for the rest of the world. Because what's to stop other nations from selling their water if Canada does? The entitlement to water would be abolished. It would turn into a product. However, that is not how Trump and his supporters view it. They see a possibility to use cross-border trade to address America's drought crisis. Large-scale water pipeline infrastructure projects that may transport fresh water throughout entire states have already been pushed for behind the scenes by U.S. lobbyists. The notion is perceived as a danger by many Canadians.
We can't just be taking water and diverting it and sending it somewhere else. Besides that, every time that we're asked to do that, it's a sign that we're living outside of our means.
Because America rarely shuts down trade once it opens it, as history has demonstrated. To preserve what it currently has, Canada is spending billions on climate resiliency, renewable energy, and water conservation. Carney sees this as a matter of legacy, leaving a nation that prioritizes sustainability over immediate financial gain. But don't get me wrong, this problem isn't going away. Pressure will increase if droughts worsen. Furthermore, discussions can easily devolve into demands when one superpower begins to run out of water. Washington has received a clear message from Carney's uncompromising position. Canada will not give up its lifeline under duress. Because rivers and lakes aren't the only thing at stake. It has to do with survival, independence, and sovereignty. Although the U.S. has the biggest economy and military in the world, Canada is ahead in the competition for natural resources, and the value of that power is increasing daily as climate change picks up speed. What comes next? Then, would Canada resist pressure to reach an agreement, or would future U.S. administrations attempt to do so? There is little doubt that this new chapter between the United States and Canada has the potential to redefine the true meaning of trade. And when the world's resources become more limited, this might be the first conflict in what analysts refer to as the coming water wars. The next story may be even more significant than this one, so be sure to subscribe if you want to keep ahead of major global turning points.